Hey, my dear pirates! And in today's video, we're going to talk about the possibility of the ancestral weapon Uranus having some relationship with the god Enel. Is Oda taking us down a path in history where the world's possible deities and technologies are intertwined? Well, we're going to analyze all this in today's video, so if you want to be a pirate king like me and achieve eternal glory, go ahead and press the like button with all the power of your Akuma no Mi. And if you're new here, my dear sailor, already subscribe to the channel and don't forget to activate the notifications bell so you don't miss any new video from here. Anime Joy Boy here, okay? Then join this crew that will dominate the entire Grand Line and the New World. Now without further ado, let's get to this epic video. And well, my dear pirates, after the sudden appearance of Seraphim and Vegapunk in the manga, and after we saw what happened to Lulusia, many theories started to pop up in the minds of One Piece fandom. Each of these theories had their quirks. We even made 2 interesting videos dealing with some of these theories. I'll leave both videos on pinned cards for you to watch later. However, in all the more recent theories, Enel's name has become one of the most mentioned. Why? Well, the first time we actually saw a kingdom, or a part of it, be destroyed in such a devastating way as we saw with Lulusia was with Enel and his lightning attacks back in the Skypiea arc. And although nowadays many say that Enel's power wouldn't be much of a problem for most current One Piece characters because he appeared there at the beginning of the work, I always tend not to believe that. After all, even if Oda does, he was still developing the world of One Piece and the powers of the characters. And because of this, they believe that his power was lagged with time. I still believe that Enel is as powerful or more powerful than many of the current characters, as I always like to remember, the Skypiea arc, as much as it seems to be a long and meaningless arc within One Piece, nowadays it is clear that Skypiea has always been one of the most important arcs. Well, in addition to being the first time we saw the term God used to mention a character, it was precisely on Skypiea that many things that made no sense at the time, but now it makes perfect sense and it has appeared. And I'm talking about advanced technology and powers capable of destroying an entire country. We saw how the Shandians and all the people of Skypiea were endowed with a very advanced technology. Not only they, Enel even had a ship or spaceship, the Ark Maxim, that was something out of a reality if we think with a more open mind. It was the first time that we see a ship that fly and that uses the power of a devil fruit. No wonder Enel uses Maxim even to amplify his attacks. But anyway, what do I mean? My dear sailors, it's just that everything we were enjoying on Skypiea was just a prelude to what we're seeing now. We can say that yes, Oda was getting ready, or else he wasn't sure what he wanted to do, and that's why he sent Enel to the moon, to think about what he wanted to do with the character in the future. But for me, the fact that he sends Enel to the moon goes far beyond just a philosophical message, where the god of lightning finally goes to his space abode. No, I believe that everything was premeditated, maybe without knowing very well what to do, but something in the creation of Enel, his divine nickname, and about all that technology was indeed prepared by Oda for the final arcs. Enel is very important to the story. He is someone who was too powerful to be just a comic relief to be defeated by Luffy like that. We know that Oda likes to play with these things. An example is Pika, who is such a being big, but at the same time having a completely fine and funny voice. But in Enel's case it's different, and I'll explain why. The fact that he found the automata on the moon, and the fact that they revived after Enel energized them with his electricity, is proof that Enel is indeed someone special. He wanted to go to the moon and bring out those beings. It was not by chance. And if we look at the scriptures, they reveal to Enel, we see the winged beings working on hardware and technological constructions, as well as the people of Skypiea. In these images, we see these beings rebuilding or simply creating another being with wings. We also saw 2 objects that they created, one literally looking like a boat for being sailing on the sea, and the other vaguely remembering Luffy's straw hat, but being more related to a ship for flying in the air. We see that in the first image, the little beings with Asa arriving at the people who have wings like them, probably in Birka, where it was supposedly the first contact of the people of heaven with humans, who with time started to have wings, so they mixed and taught them their technology. The second image proves this point, where humans are on the supposed ship learning from these beings. This reinforces my argument once again, where I said in a past video that probably the Lunars and the people of Skypiea are actually all descendant from the people of heaven, and Enel is a part of it all. That's why I think Enel is not just any character. He wasn't weak because he lost to Luffy at the beginning of his journey. Oda may have prepared everything from the beginning, and the current facts may be revealing to us all this story. And that also has to do with the lost century. For if Enel comes back and reveals that there is a whole technology capable of destroying entire cities, of flying through the skies using the devil fruit powers, then the theory that Insama and Nika are deities and that they were possibly the ones who bought the devil fruits, Nomi, to the world and gave the people the intelligence and ability to create the ancestral weapons for the world, causing its destruction, makes perfect sense. So when I said in a past video that the possibility of Insama being a deity and having murdered the other two gods, and these gods being respectively Enel and now Luffy, also makes a lot of sense. Now going back to the present day, where Vegapunk bought up the Seraphim, which are creatures based on the powers of the Shichibukai, but who may perhaps have the power of anyone the Navy and world government have come into contact with, and in power of King, who is a Lunar, and who may have some relationship with the people of heaven. This just proves that the world government, or Insama, has a very advanced power and technology for itself, and something like that only a god could have. Joining the powers of the devil fruit with artificially created living beings is something absurd to think about. We saw this attempt with the creation of the Pacifista, and now it seems that Vegapunk managed to evolve to the point of creating something even bigger. It wouldn't be practically what we saw in the picture where beings with wings come to Earth and teach humans how to create or repair other beings? Now put all what we've seen up to and back to the destruction of Lulusia. That destruction is very similar to the way Enel destroyed much of Skypiea. What I mean is that if Insama doesn't have Uranus, or if she isn't Uranus herself, that can only be one thing. Uranus was on the moon all this time, and under Enel's possession, he rebuilt it, and now works with the other deity that is on Earth, Insama. The possibility of Insama and Enel working together is very big. After all, he will definitely want revenge on Luffy. But not only that, the return of Enel would mean that, as I said, the level of power he possesses is indeed compatible or superior to many characters that we see today. And of course, if the theory of this trio of divinities is materialized, the return of the Enel would only fuel this theory even more to come true. So yes, Lulusia's destruction may have been done by Uranus, but not as we imagine it was. Not being controlled by Insama or being her, the ancestral weapon, but Enel, he may have found the real Uranus on the moon and created her. That is, Uranus would be a spaceship. Of course, I still believe that that round rock that absorbs all the Capone Beige's crew would be Uranus, at least in its first appearance or in its testing phase. But what we've seen now is perhaps Uranus in its final phase, and its bearer would be Enel. Through him, the power of Uranus would be unbeatable, since it would basically be the same thing he did with the Arc Maxim. That is, my dear sailors, powers are witnessing not only the return of the god Enel, but also the revelation of Uranus, the revelation of deities that control advanced technologies and more. Enel can return completely different from what we saw. He can return improved, with a new form, a way to expand your powers. But now I want to know your opinion about everything that we commented on here today. Is Enel a deity like we speculate that Nika and Insama are? Or is he just a fruit of the real power of the ancestral weapon Uranus? But now I want to know what you think, so leave it in the comments. And of course, if you made it this far, it's because you like the content, so it doesn't hurt to subscribe to our channel and become one more member of our fleet, my dear sailor. And of course, do not forget to press the like button. That helps a lot in spreading the video and the channel. So help us to become the largest fleet of pirates here on YouTube, okay? A big hug for everyone, and until the next video.